Hi there, this is Jake Yancey, Track and Wire Ranch. We're going to show you today the Gallagher Smart Fence system, how it works for us in our operation. This is an all-inclusive product made by Gallagher. It's about 330 feet that's in the reel. It's going to be 4 strands of wire that run, and it's got 9 small line posts and then a main post. A couple questions I've seen online is about durability. We've been using these same systems now for going on 3-4 years. They haven't been around that long, but it's been a great product for us. We've had no issues with it. You can buy replacement parts through Gallagher if something breaks, but we haven't had that. It includes 4 different spools of Gallagher wire. It's 330 feet, if I didn't mention that before, that are on it. So it's about a football field. Works really good. A bunch of the posts have stay wires, and we're going to show you guys how those work, and they stabilize just like a tent stake as you end up going. Yeah, I like how the design is. One of the things I always keep on this is a set of alligator clips. This is how I attach the electric fence, and I just hold it like this, and this is how I keep it in my truck. It's easy enough. One guy can lift it. It's about the weight of a loaded mega reel, so it does have a little bit of weight, but one person can easily lift it up. So all we're going to do today is we're going to make an alley. We're going to be running this herd of feeder cattle. We're going to run them down here. We're going to send them out into a new pasture here so that they can start migrating up through this field. So we're going to start things off. On the one side there's a tensioner knob, so we're going to loosen up the tensioner knob. It's the first thing that you end up doing. And then you just grab out your first post. And as you can see, there's 4 different wires that run on it. 3 are black and white, 1 is Gallagher orange and white. So as you end up starting this off, all that I end up doing is use the main stake that's on the main system, stick it in the ground, and these little clips, they clip on to these little tethers, they clip on and hold on right onto the post. So it's a really great design. You got your long tether, and it's got a slide tensioner just like you would use on tent. So we're going to stick it at a little bit of an angle, give it some, and I just had wrapped around there for us. There we go. So slap it in there at a bit of an angle, and we'll run the tensioner. That's got a bit of tension now on our termination post. And we're going to run. It's kind of nice. There is 4 different wires that are on here. There's 6 different holes on here. If you needed to, you could probably move them around. There's a clamp right there. Some people have asked about sheep for it. I'm not a sheep guy. I'm a cattle guy, and so this works good for us for these temporary fences. We also use it when we have blowdowns and need a temporary fence while we fix a section of fence while our cattle are out, and it works pretty good for that. So with our tensioner reel out, once you put your first one in, you just start walking. Nice thing with it, all your posts are on here, so you just lift the post off and you stick it in the ground. There you go. And we'll just keep going this way. It's pretty nice because everything's all inclusive in this. And we'll just stick it back in the ground. Each one's got a little foot stake that's on it. It works really good. A couple questions have been, hey, the bottom wires are pretty low. Do they ground out? We use a big enough fence charger. It's not really an issue. And these aren't used for us for permanent fences. This is just what we use for temporary alleys. And something that's really easy that one person can set up, move, and tear down. So we're going to show you all that today, as well as moving these cattle through the system. All right, so here we are going to be at our gate. And the nice thing is, once you've pulled off these posts, whoop, they can go wherever you end up needing them on the line. So we're going to stick one there. Stick one here. And if you look on this line, as we kind of curve around, we put some tension on it. One of the great things, like I said, is those little tent stakes that are on here. We just unclip them from the side, unhook it. It's got a little holder down at the bottom. Take our little stake. We're going to stick it at an angle in the ground, opposite of our pole, and tighten it up. That makes it so that there's some tension on this wire as it wants to pull to the inside. We're going to do the same thing on this post. once again, we're going to stick it in the ground, put a little tension on it, and there we go. Our last one's going to be right at this gate. We're going to stick this in the ground. It's got a big oversized pad on the backside of the termination line. Even this one has another one of those little tent stakes on it. So we're going to take it off. What I like to do with these is just simply use the string as my tie off. So you can stick it in the ground if you need. These also work good for folks that have horses that want something for horse camp. So that's also another good option for you if you're looking for something temporary. Once you have it done, you just tighten up your tension knob that we loosened up earlier. It's now tight, and we're just going to crank all these. All 4 wires end up going tight all at the same time. One of the nice things is if something's loose on it, you can grab hold of each of the individual spools and you can tighten them up. So it works really good going around. So all that you do to tighten each of the individual spools is you just grab hold of the spool themselves and you can twist them just a little bit. So all these tightened up real nice for us today. What we're going to do is we're going to walk down here to this far end. Let's sneak through here real quick. Alright folks, all that we did was we walked to the end of this alley. We grabbed the herd and we kind of pushed them back. We got my 2 great daughters. They're standing down at the end of the alley. So we're going to move 2 wires. These are about 10 plus years old. I don't actually know the whole age of them, but they're Gallagher spring gates. They're still working great. We're going to use them to open up and send these cattle across. So why don't you pop through here, babe, and I'll have you just go on the other side of that. So all we're going to do is I'm going to run those 2 spring gates right across, hook them in. Use some old stay posts. We are not using these anymore. All right, girls, you guys can start walking them this way. We're going to go walk down with our girls. They're going to slowly push these cows. They'll turn around and they're going to head back down this alley. They have not been out in this field, so this is a group of feeders. They'll be finished out here in the fall. So they're going to figure out this entrance here. So none of these cattle are hand-fed or anything else. This is just how they are. They're a little bit excited and everything else. So, but it does look like they figure things out pretty easy. The nice thing with the 4 strands of the Smart Fence is it makes a good visual barrier for them to start around. So as you can see, they're minding their P's and Q's with it. That's good, girls. Just let them find their way around.
You want to close up?
Nope, you're good. We're just going to walk behind them.
Oh,
yeah, we're just going to walk down. Wait, stop. Just let them go. So this group's just going to walk their way down. I'm a little excited to be out in grass. We kind of overgrazed our alleyway today. We just came off of about 2 hard days of rain. So it's been pretty intense here, which is great. This has turned into a pretty amazing grass year for us, which is a good thing. We started off the season awful dry. A lot of folks ask, hey, why did we let our grass go so mature? Here in Western Washington, one of our big concerns is ground quality and everything else. And we just want to make sure that the ground stays stable enough and everything else. So, girls, why don't you guys walk up? Come on. We'll keep these guys moving. So we didn't use the Smart Fence system for this whole entire way. It's a little bit over the length of it. Like I said, we do run a couple of these, so we could have ran a couple different systems together. Another question is, why didn't we use just 1 strand? We like to use the Smart Fence when we're making corners and things like that, as the 4 strands give a more visual representation. You're going to see here we use old school pigtails and a single strand to finish off this alleyway. Once we get down to the far end of this field, it's going to be the first rotation that they're going to end up going through. And we're going to be running 2 strands going across, and we're going to follow up on another one of our videos and show you guys some differences between pigtails, Gallagher's pigtail, and then also Gallagher's new multi-wire post, and I really like them. It's been a great product. So slow up, girls. Let them figure their way out. They're getting up to the reels here. Like we said, this is the first time this group of cows has been part of this program. So they're just figuring this out, and now they're making the corner. And there they are. So we're going to close this up. I'm going to run a single strand across, keep them happy. All right, so we just ran the single strand, closed the cows off so they don't run backwards on us. The reason why I keep these alligator clamps here, like I said, is if I was going to electrify this, I just keep them on. You can clamp wherever you want. Make sure your clamp is securely on your wires. Then all I do is hook it to the leads. So that's how I power up my fence. In this case, we're going to tear it down really quick and show you how that works. So just take the 2 alligator clamps off, clamp it to the knife's frame. We're going to undo our tension string. Now before you go anywhere, you want to make sure that you secure these. So on each side there's a hook down at the bottom. You're going to attach it up top so it just pops right in, and then you just slide your tensioner, and that makes it secure against the side. That way it stays there. So we're going to reel this up. The only downfall is most of my Gallagher products that we end up having are geared reels. As you can see, this is the downfall of not having a geared reel. So I always recommend folks that are doing lots of portable fences to end up investing in some geared reels. They make things a lot easier and not so many cranks. So once again, we're going to hook it on the bottom. These line stakes, they have a little hook up at the top. They have a holder for your wire, or for the stake itself, and you just tighten it down. Once it's in, stick it on. Feet always, the little footsteps always go to the outside, and it clips onto the frame. Pick it up, slide it in. A couple tricks that I end up finding is stick it in the ground, tension it up so that the wires are still tight, then pull this out. It makes it just that much easier when you're moving the post. So stick it on there, run your tensioner, and then as you can see, once you lift out your post, it's much easier to slide back and forth, so you can slap it in a little bit easier. My daughters are standing down at the big end, or down at the end of this line where we went, watching the cows. This is one of the joys about running cattle with your family. You get to spend some time out. Today's a beautiful fall day that we're out at. So a couple little tricks is, you can see right now as I tension, it's bringing in my different wires. Tighten things up, so you want to make sure it's tight as you reel it up. If it gets too loose, it kind of makes a pain. So it's a good thing for, like I said, making for horse corrals. If you're going horse camping, or you need temporary paddocks for your horses, it works really good for that. So, all right. You can see we're getting close to the end here. Last one here as we end up going, we're going to be getting to the end. I just want to show you a little trick. If you're on undulating ground and your wires are coming in different, you can see this one's tight right now, but the other ones aren't, and we've been cranking nice and steady. What you can do is you can grab hold of each of the reels right here by hand, and you can just manually pull them, and as you do, the wires end up tightening up. This is what I found to be the easiest way to kind of keep them tight. This isn't really an issue here today as the ground's pretty flat, but you can just grab these and spin them. So here we're at our last one. We're gonna stick it in the ground. I just want to give you a close-up here and show you how these stakes end up working. So like we said, tent stake, we want to make sure that it goes at an angle in the ground that gives it a little bit more holding strength. When you get ready to close it up, you want to loosen up your tensioner. And then right here on the back side, right here down at the bottom, you're going to see there's a little hook. So you want to make sure the wire runs around the hook. Goes up here, there's a hook at the top. Make sure the ring goes in it. Make sure the tail goes in there. And then once it's done, then you can tighten this down. That's all it is. We're going to pull out our last one, stick it in here. There we go. Tighten up our reel and secure it in there. We're ready for the next time. This is a great product, like I said. It works really good for us. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at Track and Y Ranch and also on YouTube as well. Once again, we sure appreciate it. We look forward to seeing how these pastures change, and hopefully we're going to grow some great grass and some great grass-fed beef.